everyone, and welcome to a new show I'm calling Strategy Guide. It's a show where I'm going to show you how to survive in survival games, such as 7 Days to Die. I'm going to show you not only how to survive, but I'm going to show you some tips and tricks about how you can get above and beyond certain other players and give you a foot forward when you're surviving. There's also going to be little hints and a little bit of things maybe other people don't know about. I'll explain some things that are a little bit obscure and maybe are a little bit hard to find out how to do. So, without further ado, I present to you the first 7 Days to Die video. So here we are in 7 Days to Die. So let's just get started with the surviving, and I'll go from there. When you start, you're gonna notice the quest up in the top right. Those quests they have 8 parts, and they will walk you through the basic survival of your first night, basically your first night. So you're gonna want to start off with getting plant fibers, rocks, and wood. So plant fibers you can get from punching grass. Also, you'll want to make sure you loot pretty well everything that you come across, because all of it's good. So rocks, you'll find some small stones on the ground, and those are good to start off with. So you'll want to start off with doing that. Also, to get wood, you can just punch these little trees to get wood to start off with, and you might as well punch the whole thing until it breaks. So once you have done that, just open your inventory by pressing tab on the computer, X on the Xbox, and square on the PlayStation, I think it is, and you'll see this menu. You're on the basics tab. You'll want to go to stone axe and click craft. And you'll see everything you craft has a timer on it, and everything takes longer or shorter to craft depending on what it is. So you'll also notice that you start off with a bottle of water, a can of food, a first aid bandage, and a torch. And those are going to be good for later, but for now you don't really have to worry too much about that. So now that you have your axe, these bigger trees you'll be able to chop them down and get lots of more wood, which is what you'll need. Also, you're going to need to break a lot of these plants to get the plant fibers, because the next step is to make armor, or clothes in general. Just normal clothes keep you cool and keep you protected a little bit. And you're going to need 35 plant fibers to make clothes. So now that you have those, again, go to your crafting and hit the clothing tab. It looks like a t-shirt, and make the gloves, the hood, the pants, the shirt, and the shoes. And these are all going to be helpful, basically so that you have a little bit of armor, and if you're in a cold area, so you don't freeze to death. So if you are in a cold area, you're going to want to find a jacket or something laying around, or make an animal hide armor suit, which it'll keep you a lot warmer than plant fiber clothes. So now that all your clothes are done, you'll want to go to your character tab, and on here you can just shift click all of your armor onto your character. And if that's bugged out when you're doing it, you can also drag it over and just click it onto your person. And if that's not working, you can just individually drag each piece onto the specific spot that it goes. So there's some options for you if you need that. So now that you have armor, you'll want to make some weapons, which again you'll need wood for, and lots of it. So you might as well just chop down one of these big trees. Take the time to do it, because it's worth it in the end. You'll have lots of wood to start with. So now that you have wood, press tab, and again in your crafting menu, you want to hit the weapon, ammo, and weapons tab. It looks like a little dagger. And hit the wood club and craft one of those. And now that you have a wood club, it'll also want you to craft a bow and arrow. So you'll want to craft a bow, which is wood and plant fibers, and it'll want you to craft some arrows. And arrows are not the easiest stuff to find materials for, because you're gonna have to find nests, and nests aren't exactly rare, but sometimes they can be hard to spot. But it's worth making a bow and arrow, because of the fact that arrows will help you save ammo in the long run. And especially if you're trying to sneak, it's better to use arrows instead of bullets. And also, it's good to stay away from zombies, because if you get infected, you may end up dying from the infection, because antibiotics are kind of rare. So just trust me on this, you'll want to have some arrows. So now that you have your weapons, you'll want to find a place to stay the night, which shouldn't be too hard to find depending on where you start. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to find a place. And again, just real quick, when you're out in the wild, make sure you pick up all of the plants, because all of the plants are going to come in handy to make tea. The cotton you can use to make cloth, which you can use to make bandages, and just pretty much pick up everything to start with, unless it's basically just pick up all the basic materials to start with, and leave all the other stuff until you know what you're doing with it. That way you don't clog up your inventory. So depending on where you start, you'll find a house, which is the best place to hold up for the first night, and I'm going to go over that in another video. So I'm going to leave this one here. Just keep in mind, when you're playing, if you're playing on the PC, if your game crashes every time that you log into your character that you made, or try to make a new map and it keeps freezing, there is a fix for it. Basically, when you go to start the game on Steam anyway, you'll want to go open the launcher instead of go to straight play the game. And when you open the launcher, switch it to 32-bit version, because for some reason if you're playing on a 64-bit version, it doesn't want to work right. So I don't understand it completely, just trust me, I actually had to switch it to the 32-bit, and it's been working fine ever since. So that's mostly for PC players. So that's how to get your beginning materials, and then the next episode I will show you guys how to find shelter and survive the first night and go over the night mechanics. So thank you all for joining me. This has been Strategy Guide. I will see you all in the next one.